Hello, my sunbeams. Today I'm gonna read the miracle equation. Unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort equals miracles by Hal Elrod. I am just starting this book, so we'll be beginning together. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I really dislike it when books start on page 3. It feels like incomplete or something. Chapter 1. Taking the mystery out of miracles. Moving from mythical to measurable. Miracles are not contrary to nature, but only contrary to what we know about nature. St. Augustine. Miracles. They're kind of mysterious, right? I mean, isn't that part of the appeal? Not knowing exactly how certain seemingly imperceptible events have lined up perfectly to save someone's life or deliver their wildest dreams right to their front door. However, this mysterious nature also creates a problem with the way that we perceive miracles. I once saw a segment on the Today Show titled Skydiving Miracle. Man falls 2 miles, about skydiving instructor Michael Holmes, who fell 14,000 feet when his parachute failed to open. As the ground below raced toward him, he tried to release the parachute but couldn't. He tried to cut it free, but that didn't work either. In a last-ditch effort to save his own life, he pulled the reserve parachute, but it didn't release. In the final 700 feet that he spent free falling through the air, he resigned himself to dying. Amazingly, he didn't die. Relatively speaking, his injuries were fairly minor. And have you heard Donnie Register's story? It was all over the news as Donnie's miracle, and Oprah.com even featured it as a real-life miracle. Donnie was standing behind the cash register in his own antique store when a gunman fired a shot at his head. Donnie threw his hands up in front of his face. The bullet bounced off Donnie's gold wedding band, which deflected the shot, and he miraculously dodged what should have been sudden death. Over the years, I've heard of miraculous health recoveries where there seems to be no other effort made except heavy doses of hope. And even of long-lost sweethearts who mysteriously crossed paths decades after they parted ways. All of these stories are intriguing and awe-inducing at the same time. In all fairness, stories like these can be called miracles, but for many folks, and you may be one of them, it's miracles like these that give all miracles a bad name. Miracle non-believers assume that extraordinary events happen only to other people. They believe that all miracles are elusive, mythical, random, lucky, and out of reach, totally unrealistic and unpredictable. They just don't happen in real life. Not to them, at least. I used to feel the same way. I mean, if we could simply think up a 7-figure check to be waiting for us in our mailbox, wouldn't everyone be a millionaire? Miraculous health recoveries would be the norm, and that difficult client or coworker, the one who's constantly spiking your blood pressure would, well, he or she might just disappear. If you fall into this camp, you probably think that you have to see it to believe it. Being skeptical can be a good thing. You're doing what we should all be doing. Thinking critically, evaluating and questioning everything, going in search of the truth. I approach things the same way and don't expect anything less from you. However, there is a potentially devastating downside to skepticism that we all need to be aware and cautious of. It can easily turn into cynicism. It can tip us into an unhealthy level of distrust and limit the possibilities that are otherwise available to us. As you'll learn in this book, there are actually 2 different types of miracles, and it's not really fair or beneficial to blend them together. The miracles that we've described above are what you might call passive or random miracles, those that occur by chance. We marvel at their unbelievable nature, but there's no definitive way to explain them, let alone repeat them. And I'm sure that skydiving instructor and Donnie Register would prefer not to enter their experiences again. They can be seen as random coincidences. If you would like to create these kinds of miracles, which often include a pray and wait approach, I'm sorry, but I don't have much advice for you. They are not the kinds of miracles we will be discussing in this book. This book is about the kind of tangible, measurable miracles that require your active participation in producing them. They are more akin to making your biggest, scariest, and most improbable goals come true. These are the types of miracles that you have a significant degree of control over, meaning that you can consistently create them again and again in your life because you will understand how the process works. But to create this kind of miracle, first, you must believe that the result you are seeking is possible and that you can produce it. If you fell into the skeptics group above, I would urge you to suspend your disbelief for a moment so that you can explore what else might be possible for you, at least while you read this book. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to convince you to believe something unreasonable. What I am trying to do is open your mind to the possibility of something new, a second kind of miracle that you have the power to create at will. In this chapter, we will define what tangible, measurable miracles are for the purposes of our conversation, and then dive into exactly how these types of miracles unfold so that you too can create uncommon results. Then it will be up to you if you want to believe. Anyone can create tangible, measurable miracles. When it comes to miracles, there are some questions that would be helpful for us to consider, such as, are miracles experienced only by special or chosen individuals? Do miracles occur only at random? Are miracles created by God or some other mysterious higher intelligence? Or could it be that we were each born with a limitless potential and capabilities far greater than what we believe about ourselves? What if that's why some people are wildly successful? Because they figured out how to tap into that dormant potential that every single one of us was born with. What if you realize that you're only a decision or two away from tapping into that potential? A realization like that would change the way you approach the size and scope of the goals you're willing to set and the life you live. It would raise the bar on what it means to be average, if average were to become extraordinary. Imagine if you and every person you know began actualizing his or her full potential. If each of us were to discover how to overcome our self-imposed limitations and begin creating everything we want for our lives while making a profound impact in the world. What if we all became miracle mavens? What is a miracle maven? The word maven comes from the Yiddish word M-E-Y-V-N. I'm assuming it's also pronounced maven. And the Hebrew word mabin, M-E-B-H-I-N, meaning one who understands. Though the word miracle has several definitions, the most useful one for us as we move forward, found in the English Oxford Living Dictionary, is a remarkable event or development that brings very welcome consequences. Miracle mavens encompass these two definitions in one body. One who understands a remarkable event or development that brings very welcome consequences. If you were to think about it, I'm sure you could come up with a few people who are living close to their full potential and seem to have a knack for bringing their visions into reality. Whether you know them personally or admire them from afar, these individuals never let anyone, including themselves, talk them out of their grand ideas. They seem to have an unlimited well of creativity and perseverance. Opportunities abound for these folks. You may wonder how or why they're always so lucky, but what if luck played only a teeny tiny part in their overall success, if at all? Throughout history, there have been many people who actively created tangible, measurable miracles. U.S. President John F. Kennedy, who envisioned putting a man on the moon, and the civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr., who imagined a free and equal America for all people, are examples of individuals who intentionally and actively created miracles. While others prayed and waited for these results to happen, JFK and MLK went out and made them happen. They succeeded in transforming seemingly impossible ideas into tangible reality. They followed their visions as far as they could, and in doing so created extraordinary new realities. By tapping into their abilities, they became miracle mavens. Because becoming a miracle maven is just that, a way of being. When you live with unwavering faith and put forth extraordinary effort, you are a miracle maven. Notable miracle mavens come from all walks of life, and their accomplishments and the pathways they forged come in every imaginable permutation. Many you know simply because their accomplishments have made such a significant impact on our world. Well-known miracle mavens include Henry Ford, who gave us transportation by car; Marie Curie, who developed the theory of radioactivity and was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and the first person to be granted that prestigious award twice; Bill Gates, who put personal computers into millions of homes and offices around the world; Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean; Neil Armstrong, who walked on the moon; LeBron James, who gave the city of Cleveland a miracle when he led the Cavaliers to win the city's first championship in a major professional sport in more than 60 years; Michael Phelps, who became an Olympian at age 15 and went on to win 23 gold medals; Steve Jobs, who put thousands of songs into our pockets and made smartphones the norm; Elon Musk, who is constantly creating technological miracles that help move humanity forward. From the beginning of time, otherwise ordinary people have catapulted themselves beyond the limits of what was thought to be possible. They, too, have had to overcome the same types of fears and insecurities that chain us all. We are all born with unlimited potential, but these people have figured out how to tap into it. When you discover how to do the same, everything changes. Though the circumstances that each of us are born into vary from person to person, the unlimited human potential that each of us is born with is universal. In fact, there are countless stories of individuals who were born into challenging conditions, yet found a way to turn their lives into something extraordinary. You may be familiar with some of them. The author J.K. Rowling was broke and nearly destitute when she wrote the first Harry Potter book, which ultimately turned into a series and several blockbuster movies, theme park rides, toys, clothing, video games, and more, and secured her spot in the exclusive Billionaires Club. Jay-Z grew up poor in a Brooklyn housing project before moving on to become a world-famous rapper and business tycoon. His empire includes real estate, sports bars, clothing, beverages, and even beauty products, just to name a few. Oprah Winfrey had a childhood filled with poverty and abuse and became one of the most successful and wealthy women in the world. Now, with a commitment to paying her success forward and helping future generations make their way out of poverty, she has donated more than $150 million to charitable causes that help underprivileged girls. The actor Sylvester Stallone was homeless for brief periods as he worked his way up from bit acting parts to his breakout role in Rocky, which he also wrote. The Rocky franchise went on to become one of the most successful of all time. This list could continue with enough real-life examples to fill this entire book. What I hope you are realizing is that your external circumstances do not confine you, just as your past does not dictate your future. You will first need to envision your ideal future, see it clearly, and then establish the belief that it's possible. We'll spend a lot of time discussing how to do exactly that in the coming pages. Then you must begin to move toward it. That's what the folks listed above did. They decided that what they wanted was possible, figured out what they needed to do to make it probable, and then continued giving it everything they had until their success became inevitable. You can absolutely do the same. Remember, the goal you decide to tackle does not necessarily have to be world-changing. It can be as big or small, as easy or complicated as you like. The key is that it must be meaningful to you. That significance will serve as your driver. In The Miracle Morning, I described a concept called Level 10 Success, which is simply the ideal that we all aspire to live. If you were to measure success in any area of your life on a scale of 1 to 10, you would likely want to be a 10 in every area. Level 10 health, level 10 happiness, level 10 wealth, you name it. However, since human potential is unlimited, the objective is not necessarily to reach level 10. It's simply to wake up every day and invest time into becoming a better version of the person you were when you went to bed the night before. When you focus each day on leaning into your limitless potential and moving toward level 10 success in every area of your life, opportunities will become abundant and you will discover the source of true fulfillment. As we strive toward level 10 success, the challenge is to find the balance between being happy and grateful and seeing the perfection of where we are now while following the innate human desire to grow and improve. The key is not to come from a place of, I'm not good enough, but rather, I am limitless and I have more to give. It's a subtle yet radical difference. It's a difference that miracle mavens live by. Miracle mavens set themselves apart because they are always reaching for something higher than their definition of level 10 success. They maintain an unwavering belief in themselves and expect that what they want in their life will come to be. But they don't take a passive role in their pursuits. They don't stare at a vision board or mindlessly repeat affirmations and then wonder why nothing is happening. When you live as a miracle maven, you think and act differently from the majority of people. He kind of just came from my life. Whereas most people habitually allow their fear and self-doubt to consume their thinking, miracle mavens choose to override fear with faith. They have a foundational mindset that they can and will win at everything they do, while simultaneously being willing to accept that they don't win, that when they don't win, and quickly moving on. That way they can take advantage of more opportunities, even if it means that they will fail some of the time. They still have more chances to win. Simon Sinek expressed a similar sentiment when he said, Simon Sinek expressed a similar sentiment when he said, champions are not the ones who always win races. Champions are the ones who get out there and try harder the next time. Champion is a state of mind. They are devoted. They compete to best themselves as much, if not more, than they compete to best others. Miracle mavens also behave differently. They understand that they must put forth effort to get results. They don't seek the easy way. They're willing to do what's necessary to earn what it is that they want. However, they also value efficiency, so they're always learning and figuring out tips, tricks, and even shortcuts to get them to their goal faster. I know this not only from observation, but from experience. In later pages, you'll read how I used the miracle equation to walk again after being pronounced dead in a car accident, turned my financial situation around after near collapse, and survived a dismal cancer prognosis. I did nothing more than make and maintain the two decisions this book is based on. Creating miracles is your decision. Self-help books have given us countless answers to what holds us back from the lives we want. It's our habits, our beliefs, our circle of influence, our level of confidence, our energy, the law of attraction, time management, emotional intelligence, our education or lack thereof. It's all a little overwhelming. However, I believe we can simplify hundreds of answers into two straightforward decisions that will make or break your success and determine whether you will live the rest of your life as a miracle maven. There are two decisions that we consciously fail to make over and over again that hold us back from accomplishing what we want to. They are the decision to maintain unwavering faith and the decision to put forth extraordinary effort. What prevents anyone from creating the life they truly want is that either they lack faith that they can, or they don't put forth the necessary effort. That's it. And many people don't do either. I realize that this sounds simple, maybe even too simple, but let's explore this. I'm gonna stop there. I do hope you enjoyed, and I thought it would be a good time to read because it's raining outside. So I hope that you ate something today. I ate twice already, and think I'm about to eat something else. And I hope you drink a lot of water too.